This is greetings, everyone. It's Stirrin It Up with Chef Beee Live. I'm here at EB Fresh, and our wonderful guest is Dr. Sharita Yazid.
Our smiling guest,
visiting us from
she
Ghana.
She just made some money.
West Africa. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
I'm honored.
Yes. So we met almost 4 years ago on my first journey to Ghana. I was sent over there.
Yes.
And
I was assigned to receive you.
And you were assigned to receive me, and that was it. We've been fast friends ever since.
Yeah.
So it's been wonderful.
My Scorpio sister.
Yes, Scorpio.
Y'all do me good.
So Sharita's actually in town, just traveling, right? And talking about all sorts of things, everything Africa. And
yes.
You know, why folks should really consider Africa as an opportunity to, you know, go back home, investments, you name it. So I wanted Sharita to come on the show to talk a little bit more about that, as well as being vegan, what it means to be vegan in Ghana, West Africa. So today on the menu, we're going to actually do, while we're chatting, we're going to do a key lime pie. This is one of her favorite dishes. So very simple.
Very simple.
And we're going to show you a couple of variations, of course, with some essential oils in there.
Yeah.
And so
that's going to be a nice twist.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how that turns out.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to get started. So, how has the trip been back so far?
It's been good. This is the longest time I've been here since I've been in Ghana. So this is like I've been here since January, so 4 months this time, which is like, so I said, let me just make use of being here. Of course, coming to Atlanta is like coming to my family, because this is where I grew up, in a sense, as far as an adult. Raised my children here. I was here for 20 years, had a business in my nature. And then we have New Body Products, and so, which is a colon cleanser, CKLS. And, I'm here to help with, taking our business to another level. And I said, okay, since I got to be here, let me try to help get some people, back to Africa and talk about repatriation, or rematriation is a word I got for the women. For the
I love it.
Wait, our sister Adama gave me that. I took it and
and Adama, peace out to Adama. Adama loves to play on words.
Yes, a master.
She's the queen of that.
Master of semantics. Yeah. So So I've been in Atlanta since the 15, just speaking at different platforms on repatriation, which means
so tell people what that means.
People who have been outside of their original country or home, and they decide that they're going to move back. So repatriation, and also so for us. Whether you've been kidnapped like us, or if you are African, decide to live outside of Africa, or born outside, and you decide, okay, I want to go back home. That's repatriation. We're repatriating, coming back. Yeah.
So have you found that there's a lot of folks from this side going back to Africa?
Yeah, in Ghana we have our own tribe from Atlanta.
Really?
You come there, you're going to meet a lot of people that's been over there 10 years. I've been there 11, 20 years, 30 years, and making it happen. Living and loving, and hustling. Doing what we got to do to make it. But it's been a nice journey. I've been on TV, radio. I was on a #1 TV show, morning show in Ghana, teaching. Just just doing a segment on vegan food. We had the Vegan All Stars.
Yes.
And so that went really well. So the vegetarian population is growing, especially since I've been there. I've been noticing a big growth. Most of the vegetarians there are more religious type things, like 7-Day Adventists, Rastafari. It's a lot of even different religious groups I never even heard of. A lot of meditation groups, from out of India. So it's a little bit different in here.
Right,
most of it is connected to some kind of organization. Okay. Right. Supreme Master Chan, and people do the Love and Hut. They have a Love and Hut over there now. It's a lot of Ghanaian vegetarian restaurants. So it's Ghanaian food, but all vegetarian.
Beautiful.
So it's most of the people that patronize are not non-vegetarians.
Really?
So it's really growing. It's really growing.
Wow.
It's becoming more of a trend as far as people talking about health and wellness. Because I kind of went with a gun to the head, say, look, you don't have health and wellness on your, what's up? You know,
Right,
so then
right.
I was able to push my way in, and they gave me a try.
Always trying to threaten people.
I'm a thug. I'm straight out of Compton. I can't help it. That's how we.
That's how we do, right? That's how we do. Yes.
Yeah. So it's been good. So here I wanted to talk on repatriation because a lot of people are moving over there because of this number 45. You know, we don't like to mention.
Yeah, we don't need to mention names.
Yeah,
right?
and so and some people are making mistakes. So I'm like, okay, let me just come and do what people did for me. Come help you make a smoother transition, and give you, you know, like a real solid plan. You know, see if it's something that you really want to do. So just getting people just to come and visit at least one time, and see if it's something you want to be full time, part time, invest. You know, or just come and play, or you know, whatever it is. Come and retire. Perfect place to retire. So instead of going to Florida,
come
go to Africa.
Go to West Africa. So let me ask you this. For the people who you find that come over to Africa to live, do they feel like they have regrets? If they, you know, like what kinds of emotional things you've been seeing and messages you've been seeing?
Well, when I'm talking about as far as people making mistakes, like maybe you find somebody on Facebook and then you befriend them, and then now you letting them handle your business without connecting with the people who are on the grounds that are like you, that's been there for a long time, and not just as Black Americans, but even like Ghanaians that lived outside and have come back.
Okay.
You know, or somebody that you're connected to. You know, not just showing up and say, hey, you know. So I remember one guy came straight out of the military, came there, and he's just been getting robbed and money taken ever since. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? But he's still not listening. And what I think the difference with me is that I came there to learn, share, and I was humble. I came there to listen. And I think that's the reason why it's been more of a fairy tale for me, as opposed to a nightmare for others. And again, it's all about attitude check, you know. It's all about patience and tolerance, you know, and understand that you're in a different, you know, place.
It's totally different.
Yeah, you know, like you're a foreigner in a sense, even though we all looking alike, you know. Until I open my mouth, you don't know that I'm there or not, because we got all skin colors in Ghana, you know. So they think I'm away from the mountains until I open my mouth. It's like, oh no, she's not from here. And then I'm a white woman. You know, I'm a white woman over there, girl. I'm a white woman. What? Oh my God.
Oh, white woman.
Yeah. So you got to get kind of used to the you know, certain things. Yeah, you know, because I've never been called a white woman ever in America, but you know, but because I speak like a white woman, I guess. Dress like, you know, eat their food, you know, mannerisms, some of the, maybe our thought process. Yeah, you American, see, that's how y'all think. You know, those different things. So, but it gives me the chance to also talk about who I am, where I'm coming from as an African that was, you know, stolen away illegally, and what our story is, because a lot of them don't believe our story. They don't believe that slavery really happened.
Are you serious?
And it sounds like something that's, if you think about it, it sounds like something that's so far-fetched, because why would any human do that to another human?
But even when you go, because when we visited 4 years ago, we went to Cape Coast. We went to Elmina and the slave castles, and so the history is there.
The history is there, but they look at the buildings as it's just some relic building, or if they do know something about it, it's like, oh, it's in the past. It's like, oh, it's in the past. Get over it, sister.
I see.
Ooh, you know, that's one of those things like, what? Wait a minute, it's not really in the past. We're still dealing with the effects.
Because they haven't been here.
They haven't been here, and they don't understand. When you're colonized by the mind, which is there and here, but we were enslaved, is a difference when you know that you're in a fight. Over there, you don't really know. And then if white people are coming there to do missionary work and give you this and build your school and give you a borehole to have water, then it looks like these people can't be enslaving anybody, because they've only done good for us, you know, in their minds, you know, but not really understanding what the situation. So anyway, it just gives me an opportunity to talk to them. I had to change that attitude, because it's like, well, you can't call me a Bruni no more. You can't call me a white woman no more. We can't do that, you know. But I understand, you know, that it's something that just seems to be so far-fetched. So, like I said, I just take it as an opportunity. I never even realized
that would be a perspective.
Yeah, and I talk to children more so with teaching them, because I feel it's easier to build a child than to repair an adult. Yes. You know, so so it's been a good journey.
And you know, I would say for those of you who are listening, this is Stirring It Up with Chef Bee. We have Dr. Sharita Yazid. visiting us from Ghana, West Africa. We're talking about repatriation and just being a Black vegetarian, vegan on the continent. And I would say, for people who are thinking about going abroad to live, it doesn't even have to be Africa. If you're thinking about the Caribbean or, a place where there's people of color.
Yeah.
I think
to America,
alternative to this place, I think we have such a wealth of knowledge just being in this technology.
Yes.
That in other places, their infrastructures look very different than ours, that we can bring the creativity and just the technology that we've been experiencing to those places, because you see that there's a need. You see that if they had these particular things in place,
and there are a lot of things
life
in place.
life would be a little bit more seamless. So just
Yeah.
even thinking about that from a collaboration standpoint, I'm here. And what can I bring to this new place?
Right.
What businesses that they don't necessarily have that I am experiencing that I can bring to that place, right?
And it's wide open. I had a friend tell me, he said, whatever you think you want to do, just do it. Just find your market first. And the sky is the limit, because everything is there. And we do have a lot of technology there. We do have the internet. We have even Ubers there, Netflix, all these different, all that stuff is there. I can Skype. I wouldn't be there definitely as long as I am within a year's time if I wasn't able to communicate well with my family. So Skyping, talking on a regular basis, texting, And so, but one thing about it is that a lot of times people think that there's a lot of things you want to bring there, and then you get there, you see it's already there.
Right.
And then as far as us, as far as Black Americans, we do have a lot, but if you look at it, a lot of Africans from the continent come here to do a lot of the technical work because they don't get paid the same amount there.
Right.
So really what's happening is a lot of Africans that's from the continent are moving back at a younger age. Usually they retire and they come back, but now they're like, okay, we're going to come back home, and this place is kind of getting old, and I want to go back to my home and try to build it. So that attitude is changing.
So that's good
towards Africans that's from the continent and living outside.
So from a business standpoint, I think when we were there was a book that was circulating businesses, if you're thinking about doing any kind of business in Africa, and they had a list of different things. Like, in your opinion, being there, what kinds of businesses do you think would be supportive?
Like I said, anything, but IT is big. Agriculture, which is something that, we're partnering with our cashews that we're having today from Ghana.
Yes.
And so that's, agriculture is something I believe that everybody should get into on one level or the other, because food is medicine, food is everything. Food is life, and so if everything shuts down, we don't have this funny color money to pass around anymore, then who's going to be the richest person on the planet, or really is the farmers, or the people who's holding the seeds, So it's good for us. And then also I got into it because I wanted to be able to have something that I'm collaborating with people in the diaspora, Black people in the diaspora, and then them connecting to the motherland. So getting direct source as opposed to going through, like, cashews are grown in Africa. 90% of the cashews are grown in Africa, between about 17 different African countries. And then 90% is produced outside, or processed outside. So we're just growing it. Poor man's crop, rich man's food is what they call the cashew. So, we want to do everything there in Africa. Why can't we do the refineries and the processing and things? We have all the resources, but we're not refining. So that's where our seals come in at, as far as the Black people in the diaspora. And when I say that, I mean all Africans, whether you're from Africa or Africans born in you, like me and you, born inside of us.
Yes.
And so, it's good to come back to Africa to visit, to do whatever, but just go home and say hi to your mama. That's your mama.
Exactly.
Go home and say hi, and talk to your brothers and sisters. And regardless of what the experience might be, come there and have an experience. It definitely will change your life. I mean, as you know, it will definitely change your life for forever.
So tell them about the trip.
Okay, yeah. So I do the African Culture and Wellness Festival. here. It's the it's the 5th edition African Culture and Wellness Festival. I do it every 2 years. I bring Muta Baruka, who's one of our ambassadors.
And you also had Aris Latham.
I have Aris Latham. I had Dr. Paul Goss. Of course, that's my pops. And then I had Queen Afua. My very first year I had Queen Afua.
Oh, wonderful.
As far as African dance, I had Master Teacher Mustafa Gongora from Guinea.
Yeah. I think I helped to set that up. I think so.
Okay, Arturo. The man behind the camera.
The man behind the camera.
He helped make. He passed me the phone number, and I made.
I know, right?
He passed me the phone.
Yes, he helps to make things.
Right.
Slides things along.
Yeah, very
That's
resourceful. Right. You know, and so we basically it's going on from January 30th to February 11th, 2019. The full package is $3,500, all inclusive. You plane, accommodations, food, all the tours, the festival itself, the concert, and we have a really, really good time. It is a vegan affair with meat options.
Yeah.
So you want to have some fish or chicken,
right?
You know, it's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
So we got a little twist.
Everything around.
Yeah, we have to because we're in a state of urgency and people are sick and tired of being sick and tired of dying for what happened. It's like, oh well, he went to sleep and wake up. You know, like what is that? And it's happening everywhere. Right. And a lot of it definitely has a lot to do with our diet and the foods that we're taking in. Orally, as well as all this medication that people are on, all this noise pollution that's feeding your ears, you know,
at
nonsense.
Night.
Yeah, and just noise, you know. So that's something that we're dealing with here as well. You know, it's over there. The churches are loud. Oh my God. I mean, you know, really, you know, to the point where it's like my windows are shaking sometimes.
Are you serious?
So crazy. They just break all the laws. And,
wow.
You know, but it's all cool. You know, it's just some of the pros and cons of being in Africa. But at the end of the day, I'd rather take my beat down over there than over here. Because somebody's there to give you a hug and make sure you're all right. If I got sick, it was a Ghanaian that came.
Well, I hug you.
Yeah, all the time.
But let me ask you this. Okay, so here's the question.
And don't forget that y'all gotta make some food while you're doing that.
No, we will. But let me say this. I'm curious, like being. So you were here. You were in Atlanta. You left. You come back. What does that feel like?
I feel like I come back to my tribe.
Right. But then oftentimes he's like, all right, I'm ready to go. So what's happening? I'm curious.
Okay, see, I love to see my family and friends, and I love my vegan junk food. So that's what I miss over there, which is the reason why I've come up with so many different recipes so I can kind of supplement, which has been, you know, good. Right. But it's just the energy of America, period. The time when I left, like people were feeling down. It's like, oh, I just can't, you know, take it anymore. I just need to, I don't want to hear about another brother being shot down or somebody doing something careless and don't feel anything, like somebody did a hit and run and just went away, then the person had like a whole family, and it's just like you just got away, you just left. And it happened on Old National Highway. Yeah, that's crazy. In College Park, I think it was whatever year I left, I said, and that was it. I was like, how can you just be, you know, so I just wanted to change, you know, I just wanted to see something different. I had a love for Africa for a long time. My parents were Pan-Africanists, and, you know, and so when I went there, you know, I fell in love with Ghana. And it's just been a really good experience. I like the air. I'm in the mountains. I'm not in the city.
Clean.
I'm not in the city. Not in the shitty. You know, I don't do that. And then, you know, it's high up. I'm in the clouds. It's like when I open up my doors, the clouds are like coming inside.
Oh my
it's
God.
just like,
you're in heaven.
Yeah, I'm in heaven.
Literally.
You know, and so less mosquitoes is cool. You know, I even have to wear a blanket, you know, sometimes at night. You know, so and then the people are a little more laid back. You know, it kind of reminds me of going from LA then coming to Atlanta, because you slow down, ain't nobody moving faster than you want to move, you know. And then it got me ready for, you know, for Ghana. Yeah. So.
And then, you know, the other beautiful thing I think about being anywhere on the continent is that you can actually hop. You can hop around at a reasonable cost.
Yes, it depends.
You know, it depends on where you're going. Right.
One thing about flying intercontinental is not the same as here, like flying from LA to Atlanta. Right. It's going to be cheaper because the flights are often. Like when I came, it was 5 flights coming from LA to here, right? So, but if you're moving around like on bus, and you like backpacking like I do, then yeah, you can have a nice time, you know, and go to a lot of places, you know, for cheap. And a lot of people are living in different African countries, so we kind of find ourselves and meet each other through other people, and then so I can just show up in South Africa and I got a place to stay. I can go to Nigeria, I had a house, a key to a penthouse. So since you got a key to her penthouse in Lagos, I was like, you know, I was just tripping. So it was just, you see a lot of black people that are millionaires and billionaires. There's 1,000 of them just in Lagos, Nigeria alone. So just imagine other parts of Africa. You know, big women with a lot of money. You know, so you know it's looking at different ambassador children. You know how they moved around and how they're a different mindset than
that's,
you know what I'm saying. You know,
exciting.
like being black and living a white privilege, like in Africa. You know, just a different type of people. You know, and so, and then also meeting a lot of people from other parts of the United States or the Caribbean, you know, the UK. That's been like in South America, you know, Cuba, you know. So Ghana has a real international, you know, type flavor as far as black diasporans as well as other people, Arabs and Lebanese, the Chinese.
All there. Chinese are there.
They're there, you know, building the infrastructure and, you know, the roads and things like that. So the thing is that as African people, you know, we can come together to do a lot of those things too. We have so many expertise, and now today there's really no excuse. We're in the age of we're in the age of information. So now it's time to go into the age of correction.
All right, so we have a beautiful audience. Thank you all
There's
for coming.
studio audience in the house.
We got some folks here.
Let's hear y'all.
All right, so we're gonna actually get started on the key lime pie. Right, the main event. Well, you're the main event, but this is the other.
No, trust me, this is the main event.
All right, so we actually we're gonna do two versions of this. We've already prepared an alternative version, but we're gonna show you a very simple way that you can eat vegan, right? A beautiful vegan cheesecake. Your tummy doesn't hurt afterwards. Because, you know, I keep saying key cheesecake. Key lime pie. It felt like a cheesecake.
Yeah. It looks like one too.
It does look like one. All right, so you wanna take it here, or what you want us to do?
Yeah, so we
have the soaked cashews.
Yeah, so we can. This is probably gonna take the longest part, so we can start.
So let me just say this: whenever you're doing any kind of desserts with nuts, you really want to soak overnight. And the reason why you want to soak is because you want to remove enzyme inhibitors. All right. So sometimes people, when they eat nuts, they feel a little tummy ache, and the reason why is because it's not digesting properly. And so what we want to do is we want to soak for at least 5 to 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours, and this basically, and then rinse well. It helps you to get rid of those enzyme inhibitors. And then also, it helps to soften the nut, so it gives you a more smooth and creamy texture. All right, so this is about 3 cups, right?
Yeah, so what I normally do is I do the liquid ingredients
that's
first.
fine. We can do that.
So we'll do the...
So it's 2 cups. All right, so what we're doing is we're making the filling, right?
Yeah.
So just so you know, there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can, if you're trying to rush, you can get a store-bought graham cracker crust, right?
Yes.
And this one was purchased at one of our local natural food stores. The other way that you can do it is you can do a nut crust, right? So we just soak some pecans, and that's the one that you guys will try today. We soak some pecans, maybe about 2 cups of pecans, the same way, 4 to 6 hours, rinse well, and then you just process it with some coconut oil and some agave and some sea salt. You know, we can give you guys the recipe. However you want, right? And then you would press it into a pan and then put it in the freezer so it can start to firm up. And now we're making the actual filling.
Okay. All right. So we'll start off with, you said 2 cups.
Yep. So
One thing about me is I follow recipes, but then you always, I find that you always got to adjust, you know. So we basically what we're going to do is work on trying to find the right consistency, which is like pancake batter.
Pancake batter,
right?
All right.
And so we have the milk.
I'm going to actually squeeze this out for you while you're doing that. Yeah, your lines. Yep.
So what is special about key lime pie? What?
Well, this is a vegan key lime pie, and then we have made from cashews. So that's
the cashews are from Ghana. right?
The cashews are from Ghana.
Yep. And these are straight from Ghana, right?
Yeah, so that means first choice, first grade.
Oh, we got an African key lime pie.
Yes, an African key lime pie. Somebody told me to change it because key lime pie came from Key West, Florida.
Yes.
So they told me to call it
Here we
Yes.
go.
African.
Yeah, you
African
gotta
lime
change it
pie,
up.
something like that.
You
yeah,
gotta
but
change it
anyway,
up.
We'll change it up. You know how we like to.
Rematriate.
Yeah, rematriate.
African
Yes.
lime pie.
Love to play on semantics. Yes.
All right, so Sharita is basically adding all the liquids to the blender.
Yeah,
so
I did
what
the
else you got?
coconut oil, half a cup coconut oil. I just added about a tablespoon of vanilla.
Yep. And this is
Okay.
some good stuff. This is Madagascar vanilla, so it's really
Yeah,
rich.
yeah.
It's really, really good. And then
And actually, most vanilla comes from, most vanilla comes from Madagascar. So if you see pure vanilla, that's usually where it comes from. It's one of the only places actually where it grows. I think people try to grow it in other places. And I'm doing the sweet is to taste, but you want to start off with about maybe a third of a cup.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And you gotta watch your liquids because you don't want to
Yes.
get too far because of the amount of cashews, right? So then, and then, okay, you can add.
All right, and then we're gonna add
the lime juice.
the lime juice.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I'm gonna add to this
Yes,
is
it's
my lime essential oil.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited about this. Yeah, that's good for now.
well, with the essential oils, you know, I always like to say you can use the essential oil in place of a herb, but with the actual thing, the two together, it enhances, it amplifies the flavor tremendously.
Right, yeah.
So we have the juice from the lime, but then we're kind of getting the rind, the oil from the rind
Okay.
for this.
Okay.
So it smells and smell that. Yeah.
I can see that taking too.
And you can add this to your water. I
Okay,
mean,
so just a few drops.
yeah, just like 3 drops. It's really, you're gonna taste it. It's really, really
Okay.
good. All right.
So,
I'm gonna squeeze. Let me add a little bit more because I like it limey. Put that on there. All right.
so this is,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna blend that.
And then we have that on low.
Low.
There we go. And we got the
Well,
Vitamix.
Vitamix. So,
Yeah. Got the whole here.
and Vitamix, we're gonna want sponsorship because we've been looking y'all up a lot all over the world.
Yes.
Us vegan folks.
Yes.
So knowing that we're gonna be knocking on your door, sending letters and emails,
Yes.
looking for sponsorship. Okay, so it doesn't
All right.
take much. You know, one thing
Yep.
about Vitamix is real
And then
quick.
what we can do is add the cashews.
Yes, so just add.
Yep.
It's best to kind of just add some at first and let it blend some, especially if you don't have a Vitamix.
And then turn it up.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Oh, we'll make use of it. And then what I like to do is just kind of look at this to see how thick, if there's still like little chunks. We're adding air to the blender. We're adding air to the mixture. See how it's getting thick? No, well, it's up to you, but we're looking for smooth. See that?
So as the ingredients mixes, the coconut oil actually helps with the consistency as well.
I think it's good.
It's good, you know. And this is an accident, this recipe.
Really?
So I make another chocolate recipe, and so this part is like the topping, but
Right, cool.
without the lime,
sit down.
right?
Go
And
sit
so it
down.
tastes like ice cream. It tastes like vanilla ice cream.
It's
And then I
so
said, you know
good.
what? Let me try to add
It's
some
so
lime up in
good.
there and then
Yes.
see how that turns out. And it turned out to be a winner. So yeah. Okay, so we got
All right,
that.
so we have that.
Yeah.
And then what we would do is we would pour, and that's what we're going to do here. We would pour.
Now, wait. Before I do it, I like to always, you know,
We're going to taste it just to make sure
it's
it's sweet enough.
Enough lime.
Is it
You
good?
use a little more lime.
You want some more? Okay, cool.
You want to try? Can we get your approval? We got to get the children's.
All right.
Taste that.
I'm gonna do this.
So what do you think?
What
Approval?
do you think? Is it good?
Yes. Okay.
Oh man, I love
Once the
it.
children say it's good, then
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about nothing. Yes.
All right, put that in there. And we're just trying to make it a little bit more limey, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that should do it.
That should do it. And then we're just gonna blend it in a little bit.
The consistency can be a little bit thicker. You just, but you're gonna freeze it anyway. So once it goes into the freezer,
to make it thicker if you really
just add more cashews.
Add more cashews. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to pour some of this in here. And then, once again, we're going to just act as though we put it in the
so
freezer.
this is a quick way.
This is really, really quick.
You can also take some graham crackers and then put
If you
them.
want to make your own crust, you
Yeah.
can do that too. Very pretty.
And that's it. And then you let it freeze, and then once it
And you will
freeze,
cover this.
you can kind of add some things on it. Take maybe some slices of
Yeah.
lime and
So
put it
that's
on
what we're
top.
about to do. We're about to
Put
do
some
a little
mint.
decoration.
Yes.
Yes, we're about to do this. So I'm gonna put this off to the side here. And this one was prepped earlier. This one's a little thicker. All right. And so this is like one of those little cheesecake pans. Okay.
Okay.
And then we have some berries. Have some blueberries. Yeah. So I'm gonna just add the raspberries around. So you can do, I think it's fun because if you have children, you can have them help you to decorate.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And it allows you to express yourself, creativity, creatively. And then what I'm gonna do here, just gonna put this here for a second, actually. I'm gonna cut this berry in half. Okay. And I love the way blackberries look when you cut them. Right?
Okay.
And then if you wanted to, you can actually make like a little sauce to drizzle over the top. You could do just whatever you really want. And then you guys are gonna get to try.
Yes.
Oh, they heard about the pie today?
I've been telling everybody about this pie. Everywhere I've been going, they're like, "What? Vegan key lime pie with cashews?"
Oh yeah,
It's possible.
it's possible. There you go. All right, so then what we would do is take this out of the spring form pan. Okay, so let me actually do this.
Yes.
There we go. Yes. And so
this is with the pecan crust.
this is with the pecan crust. Yes. Yeah. And that's it.
That's it. And your
really
crust can be
simple.
made from my original recipe was with the almonds. I made a crust from that, and then someone said, "Why don't you do like the real one or the other one, the
Yes.
one that the normal one,
The
I'm
one,
not gonna say
right,
real,
right.
the normal one." Which is with the graham cracker crust.
Yes.
Yeah, and so when I did that, I was like, okay, you know,
this
so
is pretty good too.
yeah, and I've had people really just love it. I mean, like in heaven when they're eating it, it's like so orgasmic, and they're just like, oh my God, this is so good. And,
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm like watching. I'm gonna have to step back and just,
Yeah, it's.
make sure
I mean, cheesecake is just really good, and
Yeah.
I like mine a little chunky because you can have different consistencies with cheesecake.
like you're
It's
right.
pie, not
Yeah.
cheesecake.
It looks like a cheesecake.
Get it right.
Key lime pie. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the texture and the look
Yeah,
of that, And then if you wanted to, I mean, we don't have any more of the limes, but you can also add some limes.
Yeah,
in
put
there.
some little mint on there.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
put
yeah.
stuff on the side, like cut up some strawberries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the other thing that we could do, and I'm gonna just do this because I think it's fun. right? What we can also do is you can make a sauce.
Yeah, like a little swirl.
Yeah, we could do that, right? So
Yes.
I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. So let's say we mashed some of these berries like so, right? Let's say we did this. And what happens is when you add some sweetening, some sugar to berries, they start to macerate. And what that means is it just starts to pull the liquids out of the juice of the berry out. So we're just gonna do this, right? And then you can even add a little bit of water if you want to.
So you mash yours, you don't put it in the blender or you do optional?
No, you don't even have to do that. No, I mean, it will make its own sauce. I mean, it's already starting if you look at it, right? And then what you can do is you can just
turbo cooking because I'm
yeah, you can just add this.
Everything fast, yeah.
You know, you can add this to the top.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty, you know.
I mean, that stain my Queen Aniva's fashion. I told her I would wear her fashion today. It's my sister. She's a fashion icon for over
in
40
Ghana,
years.
you said, right?
Well, you know, originally became an icon in LA and then went to Lagos. You know, and now she's in Ghana as well. And now she's here in Atlanta. She has her stuff in Greenbrier Mall. But 40-year African couture designer. You know, lots of coverage, 6-page spread in an upscale magazine before, you know.
Well, go ahead, model it.
Yeah. So this is one of her hand
simple. Look at you.
See the legs.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Yeah. So she let me wear this. I'm staying with her while I'm here, so she let me sport her.
I love it.
Outfit today.
All right. So this is our key lime pie. You guys are gonna get to try that in a second. It's real pretty, right?
Yes.
Real pretty. All right, so tell folks what else. Tell them where else you're gonna be while you're here.
Well, this is my last, I guess, event, so to speak. But I'll be on WFG tonight, midnight on Wanique Shabazza's show.
Oh, nice.
And then Tuesday, I'm out. I'm out of here, out of Atlanta anyway.
Okay, where are you heading?
I'm heading to North Carolina to see my mama.
Okay, nice.
And then I'll go to LA, back to LA. I'll be there to mid-April. And what we're doing there, this is originally where New Body Products is from, the makers of CKLS, Dr. Paul Goss. And so we've been in Compton since 1976, and we're outgrowing our space, so we're looking to build like a wellness center. We've been working on it for a while, but we've having, little issues with, the government, and trying to, make some things happen. Regentrification is taking place. And so we're like, we've been there for 40, even 60 years, our family, and we're like, okay, you guys are gonna, we gotta reap what we've been sowing, Right. I'm coming after you, City Hall. Compton, I'm coming after you. I've been telling them everywhere I've been going that you will see me there at your office, knocking on all the councilmen's door, trying to make this thing happen, because we've been in the black community the whole time. And we didn't leave like other people did when they started making their money. We decided that, our people need the healing, and still today, a lot of the same problems, generation after generation, and so just staying there, helps us to be able to keep that grip, on the community. And then it keeps the trust as well. So people trust you, not to only just take care of their health, but even to get advice on, what to do with their lives and, things like that. And so we're more than that, we're a community center as well, where people come and learn. And so we plan on doing some things there. And then we also have retreats. We have Arizona.
Yes, that's coming up, right?
Yeah, Eden. Let me get the paper. In Arizona, we have 800 acres of land, and we do retreats there, 5 retreats there. And then in North Carolina, we have 500 acres, and we do 3 retreats a year. So the very next retreat is actually April 13, 14, and 15 in Arizona. And then I have a schedule here. Anybody who's
so you actually give this to me, and what we'll do is add it to the feed for the show, so that people can actually have this.
Yes, and then you can also go to our my Facebook page as well. We'll be posting all kind of stuff, keeping everybody up to date.
Good.
And also, there's a Facebook page for the retreats. It'll say Dr. Paul Goss Retreats.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll put all of that in just to make it easy for everybody.
Yeah. So basically, what we're doing is we're teaching wellness. We bring different people to come talk about food, talk about herbs, talk about the Black agenda and what we need to do to come together to make, fix a lot of our issues.
I see you have harvest and iridology.
Yeah, we do iridology certification. Taught by
the good
master,
side.
Yeah. So just we do
a time Nub Electric detox weekend.
Yeah, and then we also have like a healers retreat where we have a lot of healers that come in November to Arizona. And last year, I think we had about 50 healers that come out, from different places, and really giving praises to Dr. Sebi. We just wanted to get together and talk about, okay, what next, what now, and honor our brother, and then and it turned out to be a really good event. A lot of people were very determined or redetermined, to go back into their communities and do a lot of healing. So because it's like, who heals the healer,
right? Exactly.
Who heals the healer, right? So when we come together, it's like, now we can just be free. We can talk
you
about,
can exhale.
Yeah, we can talk about, we don't have to be so perfect and act so like true. I had some fries, I had some French fries the other day. Don't
because we need our space too to just decompress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's been a really good. It's only $300, for the weekend.
That's not bad.
And then you got accommodations, your food, and then whoever's teaching the workshop.
Wow, so that's awesome.
And we're just doing it just to. It's not really a lot of profit, but it's something that
give it back.
It is profitable in the long run because our community grows, our families, are healthier, and so it's not about the money. When you're doing this business, wellness business, as my sister knows, it's not about the money. All that stuff will come.
Right.
Everything that you need will be taken care of, and it's been that way 110% of the time since 1976, and even before we became incorporated. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we have the schedule of all of the retreats. New Body. So tell them a little bit more about New Body products.
Yeah, New
and
Body
how they
products,
can actually get that.
Yeah, New Body products is actually our family business. Dr. Paul Goss is the formulator. We have over 130 different products, all herbal and veggie caps, and taking care of any ailment known to man. There's a cure for all diseases. Did y'all know that? There's a cure for all diseases.
Yes, there is.
And just because someone doesn't have the answer does not mean there's not an answer. Because there can be a problem without an answer. They don't exist without the other. So when you see a problem, just know a solution
is somewhere.
Is two steps away. So any ailment that you're dealing with, we deal with it through plant-based diet, herbal medicine, meditation, exercise. And just taking care of spiritual connection with the Most High is stronger whenever the temple is clean.
That's
just
right.
like your mosque and your church and your tabernacles and all your sacred places, holy places that you go to worship. That wasn't necessarily an African concept. God is always with us. Everything we're doing right now as we're interacting with each other. We're goddesses, having an expression, trying to bring forth, something. So it's in everything we do, in our bathing, in our cooking, So we want people to understand that connection because it helps you to have a stronger connection with your ancestors. You can hear the sound is louder, so things are very obvious, and it helps you to be able to just walk forward without really feeling any type of fears, So all that makes a difference when this temple is clean. When this body is toxic, your mind is toxic, your thoughts are toxic, your environment is toxic, and everything you go about is toxic, So until we clean this up, we won't be able to clear up, our homes and our communities and get rid of, this bad energy that's trying to, shake the planet, I push people to come to Africa because a lot of people. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm a revolutionary. So when it comes down to
a true Wakanda head, I call her. This is
I'm in
one of my true Wakanda heads right here.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that movie came out in the way it did. The person who wrote that screenplay definitely is of a conscious mind. I know he came from our community somehow.
Yes.
I would
clearly.
love to.
Yeah.
I would love to meet him, and a lot of our people in Atlanta was in the movie.
Yes,
I was
indeed.
like, wow, look at so
Yes.
you know, and so that was good to see. But I was just happy to see that we have that visual.
Oh yeah.
We need that right now in this time and space that we're in, with all the police brutality, you know, just the dehumanization of, you know, African people on the planet.
Yes.
And we need to see what it would be like had we been left alone.
That's
you know,
right.
Dr. Henry Clark is not me. Dr. Henry Clark said, had we been left alone, they put us back 500 years in technology. So that's what Africa would look like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Had we just been left alone, because a lot of that technology is in us already, and it's resurfacing.
Yes.
And you're starting to see a lot of African people, whether they're from here or the continent, that's coming up with all kind of genius
You're
science.
like, how did you even think of this?
Yeah,
right?
you know, even cars. I mean,
It's amazing.
Did you know there's 6 different cars coming out of Africa? We think nothing is made in Africa. Ghana itself has Tatanka. And then Nigeria has a car, I think it's I-5 or something like that. They just did a jet, the same company, Innovation, just came out with a jet, you know.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of genius, you know, minds, you know, as amongst African people. And, you know, one thing about the truth is always going to resurface itself, no matter what. You can't keep the truth down. And now, you know, America and the rest of the world is seeing that we really need Africa, and it's the last frontier. They know it's the last frontier. I just want our people to know it's the last frontier. So come and take advantage of what your birthright. You know, instead of, you know, when I'm in an immigration line in Ghana, I'm standing next to a Chinese and the Lebanese and the Indians at my back and the British person at my front, and I'm thinking, and I go in there every year, because I'm like, I gotta pay these fees, and y'all treat me just like these people. It's like, why I gotta be in line with them? Every time I go in, why I gotta be in line with them? Just so they know, I was like, oh, she one of those people, right?
Right.
So I do want to point out though that recently, December 28th, 2016, we had 34 diasporan blacks that received citizenship in Ghana. And Ghana was the first country to ever have done this, where it was based on a petition that said that we were stolen away, we were kidnapped illegally, and we want the right to come back, you know, as your children, and not to be looked at the same way as everybody else and go through the same requirements. You know, so we were able to get 34 diasporans, some that have been there 30 years, you know. Some people had just been there for a couple of years, you know, and usually the requirement that you got to be there for at least 10 years. So
that's awesome, right?
Yeah, we didn't have to pay the same fee as everybody
amazing.
else. We didn't have to have like the language down, you know. It's in place now. So what's happening now? That was a petition that went through. So now we have a new president, and so there's 200 applications that went in again, and now they're going to open it up for diasporans to come to different festivals that might be happening there, that has to do with the diaspora, like the Panafest. They're doing a Back to Africa, which is
amazing.
The president asking Ghanaians to come back, you know, home to help develop, you know, and a lot of people are liking what the new president is saying, you know, sending up to the French prime minister or the president saying that we don't need to depend on the West or all these different financial funding like the IMF and World Bank, that Africa needs to stand on its own for a change. And it's very, very true. So we have all the resources. We have, you know, everything. And you put in some funny color money and thinking that we, you know,
it's true.
You know, thinking that you're doing something where your money, you know, the U.S. money is not even backed by anything. It's a note. It's not even a real bill, you know. And so we're walking on all of our resources. In Ghana, every part of Ghana is gold.
Beautiful.
Every part of, you know what I'm saying?
And we've seen that. Neem trees, moringa.
Yeah, all the herbs and the, you know.
It's incredible.
Everything is there, you know. So if it wasn't for Africa and Africans, we wouldn't be living in the world that we live. Definitely America wouldn't be what it is today. We wouldn't have the technology. You know, so much technology is used from the different resources and the minerals that are there, you know. In Ghana, the diamonds is using technology. The quartz is using technology. You know, so we just have to
get African minded.
Yeah, and really, you know, someone pointed out to me. I was talking about how
African
we got
minded.
enslaved and how we were sold out, and how, you know, Africans might have been at war with each other about different things. And I told, and I know people who are friends of mine they're rich because they, you know, were into slave trading, you know, generations ago. And so all those different things are just kind of, you know, wow, you know, it's like, you know, how to go about dealing with that. You know, so, you know, having friends and then having these conversations about, okay, who you are, or how you see me as a Black American and how I see you as a continental African.
Right.
And then erasing all those stereotypes.
Right.
And then coming to the table and looking at what we have in common, which
Right.
is way more
Which is
than
a lot.
not,
Right.
right? And then coming together to build a real Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? A real Wakanda, you know, because it's in reach. It's definitely in reach, you know. So anyway, you know, I'm just trying
No,
to.
but
I can talk all day about
we'll
this.
talk
You
all
know
day
I
about
can.
this. So we're going to. You have. We're going to actually put her Facebook page on this thread as well, just so that if people want to connect with Dr. Sharita, you know, when she goes back to Ghana, you can. If you want to ask questions about repatriation, you can get connected to her. All right, so we're going to wrap up because we want to eat, right?
Yes,
We wanna eat. The baby's getting restless
So
because he want to eat.
are we gonna taste it on there?
No, we
You
don't.
don't want to see that reaction of everybody just going into
You want to do that?
You know.
My beautiful cheesecake. All right, we gonna
It's
do
not
that.
a cheesecake.
My key lime pie.
Key lime pie.
It looks like a cheesecake. All right, so I'm gonna. It cuts good.
Come over here. Come over here, quick.
Hold
Come over here.
on. There we go.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. All right. We're cutting it. There we go. Looks so pretty, huh?
Nice.
All right. There we go. That's the little. Get a little piece. Okay, I'm gonna put some here. I'll give you some. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I did okay.
Yeah, with the crust.
Hold on, you gotta get
I know you
some.
did okay because you know you got it like that.
Hold on. I did okay.
You did fantastic.
All right.
I like it when I'm able to send a recipe and somebody's able to actually do it.
Yes. All
It makes me
right.
feel like I did something right.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get some.
But everybody, please, you gotta taste this. This is
All right. So we're gonna hook them
Hey,
up.
that's why we here.
yes.
All right, y'all. So, Stirring It Up with Chef Bee Live. We're here at 1 o'clock at EB Fresh every Sunday. Next week we have Keisha Bates. Yes.
Oh, I'm proud of you, sister.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you can connect with Chef Bee at www.chefbee.com. That's with 3 E's. And then also we're talking about cleansing. We have Spring Into the Raw coming up March 20th to the 29th. Early Bird is still happening. Early Bird ends February 28th. So if you're interested in signing up for that, go to eatwhereyouare.net. All right, y'all. We're going to talk soon, and we're about to eat this key lime pie.
Yes. Key lime pie, you got
I
it.
got it right. All right, y'all. Take care. And Dr. Sharita, thank you so much.
Yeah,
for being
thank
here.
you. It's an honor being here.
Studio audience. Yay.
Awesome.
Nice one. Good.
All right. Take care, y'all. Peace.